It's time for Reclaiming America with our counterculture mom, Tina Griffin. Tina, thanks for joining us.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Hey, I'm old-fashioned. I grew up as a little boy loving Spider-Man. Of course, back then, Spider-Man was white and all his villains were white, and I was just a little white supremacist. But here we are in 2021, and the new Spider-Man, which is pretty politically correct free, is already the fourth best grossing movie in American history. Is it possible, counterculture mom, that moms and dads want to see movies that aren't full of this PC junk?
Yeah, you and I both knew that, Dr. Duke. People are not wanting to be woke. The real patriots in America. The success of the new Spider-Man movie, Spider-Man No Way Home, gives us hope that people are supporting movies that don't push woke agendas. And I think it's what parents want, Dr. Duke. We've all noticed that for the past several years, it seems Hollywood has been mainly lecturing us about conforming to their woke agenda. And I think it backfired this time around. And since the start of COVID, no movie has hit the box office at 100 million mark in its first weekend. Guess what? This movie reached a whopping 250 million in its opening weekend. So take that, Hollywood, take that.
Well, it's not just that they're loath to make traditional movies. It's how many bombs do you have to have? How many? There's a new movie out with 5 different women action figures. It got grossed like $9 million, complete flop. I mean, you think about all these remakes, these feminist remakes of Ghostbusters and everything. Nobody wants to see this garbage. At what point does Hollywood wake up and say, you know what? Let's go back to making movies with mass appeal and rather than trying to float all these movies, spend all this money on pictures nobody watches?
Well, the second that parents start to pull their kids out of public Common Core curriculum corrupted school systems, we'll be able to get somewhere because they'll have less woke children and more awake children. But you have a major point there, Dr. Duke, because they have so many bombs, so many flops for so many years. I mean, a Spider-Man making all that cash, people are now saying, well, it's a Marvel movie. Not really. That's not the reason why. Black Widow, with its aggressive feminist agenda, did not do so well. And Eternals, with its extreme push on diversity and the LGBT agenda, bombed at the box office. And these are both superhero movies. That's not it. It's that people want positive, and they want not a woke agenda, but they want a positive, uplifting movie. And we're seeing that with the dollar signs.
Let's take a look at a family-friendly, they're all family-friendly trailer for the movie.
We tampered with the stability of space-time. The multiverse is a concept about which we know frighteningly little. The problem is you trying to live 2 different lives. The longer you do it, the more dangerous it becomes. Be careful what you wish for, Parker.
Hello, Peter.
To be able to sit down and watch a movie and just have fun, not to consider your own internal biases. And speaking of biases, for every piece of good news, you've got stupid news, like what they're thinking about doing to the James Bond franchise. Tell us about that.
It's ridiculous. In a recent interview, producer Barbara Broccoli, that's an interesting name here, said that the next 007 will be a man, but the character might identify as non-binary. It's ridiculous. For people that still live in America and are not woke, non-binary means someone who doesn't identify as either male or female and uses they, them pronouns and everything else that current college professors are losing their jobs if they don't use the right pronoun. It's getting nuts. But come on, Bond, not being a man.
What are you telling me now? And instead of shaken, not stirred, it's vagina, not penis. Is this how it's going to go?
Dr. Duke, you're going down the hill fast. Yeah, that's kind of where they're rolling, and I'm not playing that game. We need people to stand up for 007 to stay the way it was always intended to stay. Masculinity, people, masculinity.
Amen. We need more, not less of it. And you have one other quick movie recommendation for us with a thumbs up.
Absolutely. So if you're looking for family-friendly movies, Crossflix, we love them, offers programming about faith, family, interactive learning experiences about the Bible. That is in our Counterculture Mom app. click on premium when you download the Counterculture Mom app, and then you say yes to notifications. In the pop culture alert section of that app, you're going to find a lot of great dirt on a good movie called Sing 2. We highly recommend it. The sequel has some heart-pulling characters who struggle with some different issues, as well as a strong emphasis on overcoming fear and loss by depending on friends for support. It's a really great movie. There's a couple of small little scenes that I talked to my girls after I took them of a couple of the characters wearing some little bit risque outfits, minor in comparison to what's out there today, but it did give me a good conversation to have with my girls about that point, and they saw it. But other than that, 2 thumbs up for Sing 2. Get it, go watch it, support it, you'll like it.
Great recommendations for a cold winter day. Tina Griffin, Counterculture Mom. We're going to warm up with you again next week.
Hey, sounds great, Dr. Duke, and maybe you need to be the next 007.
Hey, I've always say, shoot, I have a license to charm.